Good morning, everybody. My name is Lee Matthew Jackson. Let's talk about building your email list. Over the last few weeks, we've been focusing on looking after our email list. We've built up a list over the years of the podcast, and we haven't really been sending many messages. So we've been going through, carving out old information, old lists that are no longer relevant, and also working on a content plan for the next few weeks and months on how we can nurture the list that we have and then grow it. What we've done as well is looked at some of the ways that we've been building our lists, and I'd like to share with you 3 things that work. I'd also like to share with you 3 things that we absolutely despise or have tried and it hasn't worked. So please remember, this is all my opinion and you do need to test things for yourself. But let's take a look, first of all, at some of the things that do work. And the first thing that you can do is create a lead magnet. For example, on the agencytrailblazer.com website, right in the header there is a lead magnet where people can download the 5 stages of transformation for their agency and work out where they are. So that is something of value. And the transaction for that is an email address. I will give you access to this document that's full of great goodness that will help you build your agency in return for your email address. And of course, people can unsubscribe as well. That's fine. But the idea is to see if your target audience will benefit from that content and therefore give you the email. That actually ensures you have a good potential list person. I don't know, subscriber. There you go. That's a really good email word. So maybe look at doing some sort of lead magnet, and that can be advertised both on your website and also through Facebook campaigns. The number 2 would be, believe it or not, an email footer. I can't remember who told me this, but when we're sending emails out, especially to new prospects, etc., we haven't done it. We used to do this. We used to put a subscribe option at the bottom of our email footers. Very often, we will have a conversation, and that conversation will be nice chemistry, etc. But then we probably won't speak for many, many months until either I reconnect with them or they reconnect with me. And when we had a subscription at the bottom of the footer, we were finding that some people were actually opting into our email list to keep in touch, to be aware of what was going on in our company and what our thought leadership was. And eventually they would come back in touch and say, hey, I read your most recent email. Fantastic what you were talking about keeping your website updated, etc. Kind of led me to realize that we need to carry on that conversation. So, don't know who told me. Thank you, whoever it was, but real good idea. Pop a subscription option at the bottom of your email. And the last one of these very quick and easy ways to grow your email list is to reach out to all of your existing clients and clients past and tell them that you are building an email list where you will be sharing wonderful value, things that they can learn and apply to their business. Would they like to opt in? And you may find quite a few of your clients and past clients who know, like, and trust you might just jump into your list. So that's 3 nice and easy ways you can do something. There's millions more. I just had to find 3. Let's face it. Let's talk about some bad ones. And the first one is when you go networking and you get a whole load of business cards, that is not permission for you to then go ahead and add them all to your list. And the amount of people that have added me to their email lists because they had a business card off me, or because they met me, then went to my website, found my email address, and added me into their MailChimp or whatever it was they were using. I would be a millionaire if I'd have had £1 for each and every one that's done that. So please don't do that. I'm pretty sure GDPR nowadays doesn't really allow for that. But don't opt people in without their permission just by using a business card that you've seen out and about. It's not the best way. And most people you meet at networking are not necessarily your target audience. Buying lists, in our experience at least, has been bad because I have purchased lists in the past. We're talking many years ago now. I don't know what GDPR does with list purchasing, etc. But when we've sent out email campaigns based on lists that we've purchased, we have had absolutely nil, nada, zip. A lot of the data has just bounced. Equally, a lot of the emails that didn't bounce were just instantly unsubscribed. So we've had a lot of bad experience of just trying to buy lists rather than trying to build a list of people that know, like, and trust you through the content and the value that you provide. And then finally, a massive no-no would be to go ahead and get data scraping. So don't go out there. Again, this is a GDPR thing, I think, as well. Don't pay these Fiverr gigs or wherever they are to go ahead and scrape the internet for a whole lot of emails just to throw into your email list and then blitz them thinking you might get away with it, because you might not get away with it. And if you're in the EU, etc., there are some mighty hefty fines going around, I believe, anyway. So let's do that from the top. Good. Lead magnet, lead with value. Put that on your website, email it out to existing clients if you want to. Do Facebook campaigns, lead with value, give them something, and it's an email transaction they add to your list. Put it in your email footer for those ongoing conversations for people who want to just keep in touch, but not keep in touch, if that makes sense. They just want to keep getting a piece of you for a few months until they come back and work with you. And obviously talk to your clients and ask them to opt in. Remember, don't put them in and ask them to opt out. That's the wrong way around. Get them to opt in, see if they're interested in being a part of your list. Next, the bad was just automatically adding business cards. Buying lists, in our experience, has been a complete nightmare and rubbish. And also, please avoid data scraping. You will get a lot of emails, and we get a lot of emails of people saying that they can scrape data for me, or they can sell me lists, and we just ignore them every single time. So let's have a quick look at the comments. We've got a good morning shiny from Matt of the Davies. We have Mel Fallon, who says good morning. Matt says, love email, the most valuable thing in any business. And Matt actually writes some phenomenally good emails. It's like a little masterpiece when it arrives in my inbox, and I print it off and I get a cigar and a nice whiskey and I put my feet up and I read Matt's emails because they're that good. Tom says, you can feel the love in every of your emails, Matt. That's true. Thomas, I believe Matt said he's going to give you a discount now on your next funnel pack. That's really nice, Matt. Thank you. And we've got a good morning, mate. Morning, mate. We need to rearrange a catch up, don't we, Steve? And that's Steve, my mate, Steve. Good to see you, buddy. So thank you, everyone, for joining. If you got this far, thank you. If you watched the replay and you got this far, type in replay so I know that. It always makes me feel special. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, remember the date. And if you can't remember the date,